Welcome to the Chip Matthews Show, where politics meets the South. So grab your sweet tea, find a comfortable spot to sit back, and let's embark on this journey together. Chip away.
And good Monday morning. I am, of course, Chip Matthews, your host for the next hour or so. We'll be doing the show. This is now the Chip Matthews Show. And the full story has now moved to Saturdays from 10 until noon. I believe that's the correct time. It starts in a few weeks. Of course, here, Clay Edwards will be in at 7 a.m. And then at 9 a.m., it's me, solo again. And then the Jameson Haygood Show. Then Sean and Lindsay at noon. Then Radio Strongman, Kim Wade at 4 o'clock. So now, let's talk about this week, okay? We all know that Easter is this Sunday, okay? So there's two things you need to remember. You need to somehow pray with yourself and know that you have to go vote, okay? And you can vote today through Saturday at noon. Those are your absentee days. Then the following Tuesday after Easter is election day. You know, I'm not making this up. Voting and religion, you know, when I was growing up, a church was full and people went and voted. Now churches are not full and people don't vote. So what is wrong with America? What is wrong with us here in Mississippi? That, you know, we don't go to church. We don't go to vote. Okay. Sounds like we're leaving two things out of our lives, and that is control of our life. Okay. So it's real important this week to get out and vote. And then you can make your Easter appearance at church on Sunday, but, you know, you need to think about going there every Sunday and getting your load of religion. We all need it because we all need to be headed in the right way in our lives. You know, there's only one place to go, and that's to heaven. I believe in God, so I will go there. I don't believe in elections. That's why I worry about them. Okay. And the only way elections work is if it's too big to rig. You've got to get in there and vote. Absentee voting seems to be a thing that Democrats do a lot. This is where a lot of corruption occurs, but we didn't have that in the Republican primary in the are as bad in the presidential election because it was too big to rig. Too many people showed up, you know. But when this is a runoff, and 24,000 people voted in Jackson in the mayor's race. In Canton, I don't know. It was a very low turnout, and we need to select the right Democrat to vote. So let's go through the rules for voting in a runoff. If you voted in the original Democratic primary or Republican primary, you must vote in the party in which you voted the first time. So that means the 900 and so people of you that voted in the Republican primary in Jackson, you have to vote Republican again. To those of you that voted in the Democratic primary, you must vote Democrat again. That's Jackson. In Canton, there was no Democratic primary. There was no Republican primary. So everybody in Canton is eligible to vote in the Democratic primary coming up on Tuesday. Next Tuesday, not this Tuesday, next Tuesday. So that means where we have to get people in to vote, because we do not want a situation where we have to deal with Chokeway ever again in Jackson. And in Canton, we want to make sure that we don't wind up with a school teacher who's been suspended from teaching school for 10 years for changing the test scores of the state tests. Y'all, that's a real financial penalty there, I would think, for the city of Canton. But it's really the big picture for Canton that you all need to realize is Canton is fixing to be flushed with cash. That's right, cash money. Although they raised the taxes this year, they slid that in. But you got all this Amazon money coming. You got Coca-Cola money. You got all those people at the mega site. That money's going to be coming to Canton, and it'll also be coming to the Canton School District. So now it is more important that we fix some problems, mend some fences, and get everything going right. I think the best situation is to close the Canton School District, take all those millions of dollars we're going to be getting, and go down there and say, hey, Madison County, here, we'll give you this money. You build a new school out by Deerfield with this money, and we start alleviating some traffic over there, and we build a new school out toward Flora, and everybody'd be happy. One on 16, one on 43, and rock and roll. Those communities are booming already. Houses are coming in there. They need more schools. Canton School District keeps them from putting more schools in the areas that we need them because they just hunker down and steal all the money, allegedly. And there's a law firm that's backing that one candidate from Canton that should not win. And that's just the reality of it. She is a bad deal for Canton. She's young. She's being controlled by the law firm, and it's just wrong. In Jackson now, it's real important that we eliminate Chokeway regardless. Okay. And you got David Archie and people like that out for pushing them. And I don't understand that at all. I don't understand if you lost in that you didn't make the runoff, why you would come out and push Chokeway. Don't understand that. There may be a 3D chess going on here between what is going on. But it's also important to note that whoever it is in the general election, we need to get out the vote. So no matter what shows up tomorrow, next Tuesday, in 4 more weeks, the general election where Republicans are taking on Democrats and independents are also running, you got to get involved. That's when we want you to show up and vote for Kim Wade. That's what when I say we, I'm talking about me and my staff, and our staff, I have some people on my staff that live in Jackson and the rest of the staff lives in Rankin or Madison County, but our staff, as we prepare for the show, we know what we need, and we need Jackson to be Chokeway free. And then you also need to worry about the alderman or the councilman in each city. It's real important that you get that right, because you see, they're the ones who really should tell the mayor what he should be doing. The mayor sets the agenda, but they get to vote on what they get to do and what they don't get to do. In Canton, the aldermen come up with everything and they hand it to the mayor. The mayor has to get it done. The mayor can still veto it, but the reality is the mayor is there as a function for the alderman to talk to the staff to get the things done. So you got crime, you're going to look at the mayor. The mayor's going to say, make some recommendations to fix the problem. Done. That's the way I see it, And I have a few plans to fix some things. My biggest thing that I think they all need to look into, we'll talk about that. Hold on. Let's take a break, and then we'll talk about what I think needs to be done to stop the violence in the metro area. Well, it ain't metro area. It's all over Mississippi. I mean, they're killing in Yazoo City. They're killing everywhere. They kill everywhere in Benny Thompson's district. So one problem is Benny Thompson and the type of people that he promotes. And he's been out on tour. He was in Natchez the other night. He is out on his tour to get his Democrats and his mayors in office that he wants. And of course, you got to kiss the ring, and I'm sure there's some money involved. But anyway, maybe, allegedly. We'll be back here on the Chip Matthews Show right here on WYAB in just a moment. We'll be back here on the Chip Matthews Show right here on WYAB.
1039 WYAB. Hi, this is Casey Holcomb with Mississippi Hometown Realty. Spring is in the air, and it's the perfect time to buy or sell. When you're ready, I want you to think of me first. I will help guide you through the entire process without the stress. Check out my website at mshomesforyou.com. That's mshomesforyou.com. This is Casey Holcomb. Still, I'm doing what I love and loving what I do.
MS license number 51833. Telephone number 601-398-1620.
Hey everybody, it's John at Two Gun Tactical. We're having Kim Wade Wednesdays at both locations. So you come in and mention Kim Wade on a Wednesday, you get half price range fees. Hey, if you're a member, we're going to give you an extra free target just for mentioning Kim Wade Show. Come on in and work on your shooting and exercise that 2A right that if we don't fight for it, we won't have it much longer. It's twoguntactical.com. That's the number 2guntactical.com.
Hi, this is Mary Beth Hardy, owner of Flora Pharmacy. Flora Pharmacy is proud to be locally owned and operated. We believe in the power of community and personalized care. At Flora Pharmacy, we treat you like family. And for your convenience, we offer curbside service and prescription home delivery. Just pull up and we'll bring your prescriptions right to you. Can't make it to our store? Flora Pharmacy will drive it to your doorstep. Come see the best pharmacy in town today at Flora Pharmacy, where care meets convenience. Highway 49 in Flora.
Are you hosting an event? Let Burgers Blues Barbecue handle the food while you enjoy the moment. From an important lunch to a dreamy wedding, B3 Catering is sure to please everyone. Find Burgers Blues Barbecue online and click the catering tab or just give us a call. And when you're dining out, visit Burgers Blues Barbecue in Flowood, Brandon, or Madison for incredible plates served fresh daily. Burgers Blues Barbecue and B3 Catering, a delicious combination.
It can be hard to move past the guilt, times of weakness, and regret, knowing you weren't there for your family when they needed you the most. But there is life after addiction. We're seeing broken families restored, one man at a time, through our vehicle, cash, and thrift store donations. It's given Mercy House Adult and Teen Challenge the ability to help these men succeed in having better lives. Donate a vehicle, running or not, and we'll come pick it up. Call today, 601-572-7296, or visit us at vehicledonationsms.com.
Can anyone in Jackson say the name of Bravo, Broad Street, and Salamuki's Catering Company? Yes. Let's find out.
Mangia Bini.
Mangia Ben.
Mangia Benet?
It actually is Mangia Benet. Mangia Benet. It's Mangia Benet. It means eat well in Italian, and it's the catering group for Bravo, Broad Street, and Salamuki.
Mangia Benet Catering. Choose us, and you'll always eat well. 3 restaurants, 1 call. Mangia Benet Catering.
Mangia Benet.
At Bank of Yazoo, we believe that common sense makes for better banking. That's why we've taken our array of checking accounts and simplified them for you, boiling down features and benefits to create our New You, Achieve You, Benefit You, and Protect You checking accounts. Ready to discover how simple is better? Talk with us today. Bank of Yazoo, bank of you. Member FDIC and equal housing lender.
Venable Glass is your local glass expert, offering residential, automotive, and commercial glass. Venable Glass can do it all. What sets Venable Glass apart from the rest? Unmatched reliability and customer service. Don't forget, tell your insurance company that you want to use Venable Glass. And remember, you do have a choice. Let Venable Glass work hard to earn your business. Call Venable's Ridgeland or Brandon locations today for a free estimate or visit venableglass.com.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here's your host, Chip Matthews.
And we're back on the Chip Matthews Show here on WYAB. Yes, sir. I was looking out there this morning, and it's starting to, the sun's starting to rise. It was full moon when I was on my way in, and I was sitting there looking at it going, wow. Easter week, this, that, and the other. Trump stock market, it looked like it was going in the right direction. The early, stuff that's out over the weekend, but you just never know. You just never know. And if I told you to go out and buy some stock while it's red, would that be insider trading? No, it wouldn't, because nobody knows what I say. Nobody cares. But anyway, we're here filling the space here on the radio. Clay will be in at 7 o'clock this morning. He had a big event yesterday, the Bubba Winfield event, which they raised plenty of money, a lot of money. And of course, there was tons and tons of people out there. It was great. Lots of bands. Thank everybody for coming out, and also thank everybody who supports the situation, because Bubba is a great guy. And if you don't know him, you need to see him. I've already contacted him to where he'll come play out at Acme Pizza soon, and hopefully is sooner than later. And that's good. That's good that he's out playing too. Okay, so let's get into this. This election is not tomorrow, Tuesday, but the following Tuesday. You've got to go vote absentee now to make sure that we're going to get the right candidate in. It doesn't hurt. Early voting, like absentee voting, is good. Early voting the other way is like what they did in Wisconsin, and they did not, and they were able to count the votes daily and see what they needed to do to cheat each and every day in the next 24 hours, which led to, Elon going up there and throwing $20 million away in that race in Wisconsin to try to get a judge elected. It doesn't, you got to understand everything. And also remember, each and every time you go into a polling place, be very conscious of what's going on. Some polling places will have split ballots, single ballots. One is everybody gets the same ballot in one precinct. Sometimes you'll go into a precinct and there'll be 2 ballots or 3 ballots or 4 ballots. Always read your ballot. Look at the wall when you walk in and check to see that you've got the proper ballot for where you live, and then vote. In Canton, they'll probably be doing some more of their shenanigans, because in the last election, they've thrown out a bunch of votes because they could not vote. The person had been changed from where they voted normally to another place. And rather than going to the other precinct that they had been moved to, they were telling them, you can vote here if you would like affidavit. Well, when you vote affidavit in the wrong precinct, they throw it out, or it can be thrown out. Most cases it is thrown out because you have to vote where you live. Now, we have a unique thing in Canton where I can prove that they were cheating. Okay. We have one family, a mother, a father, and a son that live in the same house. Each one voted in 3 different precincts, and they live at the same physical address. They went into one place and one person got to vote properly, and the other 2 had to vote affidavit. So their 2 votes were thrown out. And you just can't have that. find and make sure that you are voting where you're on the poll books. And then, since the alderman from Canton said that they didn't redraw the district lines or anything, we need to find out the corruption on what happened to where these people are moved. Because, you got aldermen that lost in this race who did not know people had been moved, and they didn't even campaign in that area because somebody had moved everything around. Now, I'm not saying that people in Canton are corrupt that run elections. Well, what I am saying is they have been convicted, and they are some gone to jail, and some are waiting to go to jail, and it has occurred. And that's not allegedly, because we have admissions and they went to jail or they had suspended sentence. Some of them that had a suspended sentence are waiting to be waiting to testify in other trials in the future that are coming up right after June. Right, I think it's June 13th to be true. And then they will be sentenced to go. And I'm questioning whether or not the person who was convicted, who was convicted for voter fraud and intimidation and all that in the first case, is going to, since he's already pled guilty, if he's going to have to go back and do time for all the time, because you would think that would happen, but you know how it works. You know how it works in Mississippi. Kick it down the road. We ain't gonna worry about it. Jail's overcrowded. We'll put him on a monitor and be done with it. And then, of course, the people that I'm speaking of have also involved in the Canton election on the outsides. They're out campaigning and going door to door. You would think some of them would have learned by now, but it's Canton. We cheat on test scores for the school, so they can't be learning anything. But anyway, I was happy to see that Tate was on TV the other day. He didn't bring up he was on Fox. He didn't bring up the tax thing again, the elimination of the tax, but he did talk about 4th and 8th graders in Mississippi are number one in reading. I believe that's what it was. That's pretty good. It's pretty good. We're moving on up. Now, never mind that the country is down right now, but we're doing better. And as long as Mississippi is doing better, you got to understand Mississippi can do everything. We're the most talented state in the union. And that's no ifs, ands, or buts. Whatever you need, it can be developed and made here in Mississippi, because that's what we do here. We get it done. We entertain you. We do it all, and nobody can deny that. For the arts, for the arts that go on, you would think that a bunch of liberals would not come out of all of that, being from Mississippi. You just would think that you're raised with these values that we have here, and you wouldn't be such a liberal. Because, we all work together. I don't, and a lot of people bring up race, and I don't really think that in this day and age, we see black and white as much anymore. We don't see it the way people say we see it. Nobody's going around killing each other over what color they are. That's just not happening. Most of the murders in Jackson, black on black crime. That's just a fact. Now, I do know that this week is, what is this? Is it they're honoring Black Maternal Mothers Week, or whatever week? I don't believe we should do events that we put race on them anymore. It should be healthcare week for pregnant women in Mississippi. But they said the count rate of the black women is much higher. Maybe that's due to the age. Maybe that's due to the environment they're in. And the environment, if you don't want to fix your environment and you want to be in a house that everybody walks out smelling like pot and everybody's drinking and this, that, and the other, and gun and knives, that's your choice. And that's not a racial issue. That is a cultural issue that you've developed for yourself. You know, I know many, many, many people who have moved away from that kind of stuff. All you got to do is move. All you got to do is, you know, my grandmother used to say, when something bad goes on, you just need to get out of there. You need to run. You need to get gone. Don't need to be a part of it. Well, that's kind of what the situation is. And there are different situations that are harder for you to figure out what to do. But the truth of the matter is, if you ever want to do better in life, go get a mirror, look at that person, and take that person in the mirror and put them where they're supposed to be. That's right. It's that simple, y'all. You can improve your life and the way you live by moving and getting somewhere where you can. And then the only other way to improve your life is to the people that affect your life. And like in Jackson, the people that have been holding you down the most, and why you look at a neighborhood that's just awful and it's crime ridden and this, that, and the other, you're putting the wrong people in office. So that's why you must vote. You got to get out and vote. See how I tie all that together? Whoo. You got to go vote, y'all. You got to go vote. All week long, when you turn on from 6 to 7 this week, I am going to be telling you how important it is for you to vote and to go to church. Okay? That is this week. I mean, because we got to pray for Jackson. We got to pray for Canton. We got to pray for everybody in the state stuck in Benny Thompson's district while Benny's on tour, going around saying, please, we got to have my mayor in office. Well, your mayor in office has not helped anybody in any city. That's the facts. Benny Thompson has not helped us anywhere in the state. He's talking about how much money the Trump organization, he says, is taking back. No, Trump organization didn't take that money, nor did Doge. They pulled funding coming to the state, but that's welfare money. And welfare, we send $1 up there, we get $2.48 back. Okay, that doesn't make any sense. So we're $1.48 drag on the economy. Plus, in our dollar, we don't even help pay for anybody up there to work. I mean, what are they getting out of us? Nothing. You know, if Mississippi is a drag on the entire United States. Never mind, we create talent that goes out and does it all, but because of our representation in the state, I mean, look at in the state, these guys couldn't do and I'm talking about the legislature now. I hate to say that to y'all. You couldn't do a budget because you were waiting to see how much money the federal funds were going to give you. Daddy's got to send us money. Daddy's got to send us money for us to do our job. No, you spend what you got. And if you don't have it, you don't have it. Do you understand that? You can't be like the federal government. Federal government during Biden, if they need more money, we just printed it. Another country wanted some money for a war, we just printed it. No, you got to do your budget when you've got the money. This is what you got. If you got $100 in your pocket and you walk into McDonald's, that's all you got to spend is $100. If you walk into a nicer restaurant, remember, out of $100, you owe a tip out of that. So you really only have like $80 to spend. Right? See what I'm saying? Mathematics. You have to budget. You would go in there and say, I don't want to look like a heel. I'm going to tip the employees. So out of 100, I got 80 left because I got to tip 20 if I spend the whole 100. I'm going to spend the whole 100 if I spend it 80. So that's it. That's called budgeting. I got to have my drinks off the top. I got to have my blah. I got to get a giant pizza. I got to get some dessert. You budget. And you only can get what's in your budget. And then you eliminate things that you can't afford. And that's the facts. I mean, come on, people. We got to take another break. We'll be back right here on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB. We got to take another break. We'll be back right here on the Chip Matthews Show on WY.
1039 WYAB.
Hi, this is Lee Atkins for Home Care Plus Medical in Ridgeland, announcing our Mother and Father's Day sale beginning April 2nd. All Pride lift chairs will be $300 to $500 off suggested retail pricing as our Atlanta Braves fan special. So come in, mention you're looking for the Braves special, and we will help you select the best lift chair for you or your loved one. That's right, the Pride lift chair, $300 to $500 off MSRP. Many other items are on special pricing right now as well. So come see us at Home Care Plus Medical in Ridgeland.
The weather is heating up and the deals are even hotter at Mazda of Jackson. Right now at Mazda of Jackson, you can drive home your dream Mazda with low financing rates available. 2.9% for 72 months on most models, or finance 36 months and pay just 0.9%. That's right, 0.9%. Experience Mazda's exhilarating performance, top-notch safety, and reliability. It's time to choose Mazda. Shop online at MazdaofJackson.com or visit Mazda of Jackson, I-55 Frontage Road in Jackson.
CBS News Brief. Just released court documents show the suspect in a break-in and arson at the Pennsylvania governor's mansion planned to beat Democrat Josh Shapiro with a hammer if he found him. Pittsburgh Mayor Corey O'Connell.
Rhetoric has gone way too far. And for somebody to set fire to the governor's house, just takes it to a whole new level.
U.S. futures markets higher as the president sows new confusion over tariffs and exemptions on electronics from China. CBS's Nancy Cordes is at the White House.
President Trump says there are no exemptions. After all, they're only temporary. And he says more announcements will be coming in the near future.
CBS's Gail King and 5 other women are set to sail into space on a Blue Origin rocket in 2 hours from now. Our Dana Jacobson.
I think I'm more nervous than she might be. Like all of a sudden, I'm getting nervous. I'm not the one going. Very excited.
The team will soar a little more than 62 miles above the Earth to experience weightlessness for a few minutes. CBS News Brief. I'm Deborah Rodriguez.
If you want the best health care, where do you go? The Mayo Clinic. If you want the best care for your vehicle, where do you go? Mayo Auto Clinic in Raymond. Mayo Auto Clinic does foreign and domestic vehicles and diesel repair. Mayo Auto Clinic has ASE certified techs with over 25 years of experience. You can extend the life of your car or truck when you take it to Mayo Auto Clinic. For cost-effective repairs and maintenance, go to the best, Mayo Auto Clinic. Open weekdays at 7 a.m. Highway 18 in Raymond.
Pure Air Consultants has always been your go-to for reliable and affordable heating and cooling systems, and now we are offering day and night brand to avoid the 25 to 30% increases that everyone is talking about. With day and night, Pure Air Consultants professionals can install a reliable system with a 10-year system warranty. Call us today for your free quote, 601-939-7420, or online at mypureairconsultants.com.
ABS causes mass hysteria by providing office tech that actually does its job.
Relax. At Advantage Business Systems, we know office technology isn't that exciting. But we do know it is life-changing. Work-life changing, that is. Because the latest copiers, printers, mailing machines, and even telephone systems can keep your office running smoothly. Visit absms.com. Advantage Business Systems, helping your business do business.
Are you a wine enthusiast? Are you looking for the perfect bottle to elevate your next dinner? The ultimate destination for wine lovers is 042 Wine and Spirits on West Government Street in Brandon. The locally owned, the locally operated 042 Wine offers something for everyone, from local favorites to rare vintage wines. 042 Wine and Spirits to help you find your next favorite wine. The friendly and knowledgeable folks at 042 Wine and Spirits will help you find the perfect bottle for every occasion. 042 Wine and Spirits, located on West Government Street in Brandon.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
And we're back on the Chip Matthews Show here on WYAB on a Monday. Clay will be in at 7 o'clock. And I was just looking at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame voting. You want to talk about something that is just ignorant. Yeah, ignorant. This is it. Fish is in the lead. Okay, then Bad Company should have already been in. Fish shouldn't be on the same list. Billy Idol should already be in. Cyndi Lauper, Soundgarden, Joe Cocker, Chubby Checker. Joe Cocker and Chubby Checker should have already been in. The Black Crowes, Mariah Carey. I mean, I'm looking at the numbers going down. The White Stripes are up. Outkast is up for it. I mean, rock and roll is rock and roll, and the world has killed real rock and roll. The first 100 people in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame were from Mississippi, in case you didn't know, because, hey, we own it. That's that. It was such a great say. Ooh, there's a picture of a dog licking a screen in high def that's cooking bacon. As I look on Facebook to see what everybody's talking about this morning, here's one that where Ukraine is talking about offering to pay up to $50 billion for American military equipment, not handouts. So you're going to pay that with the money you already got from us? How does that work, Mr. Zelensky? How does that work? You're going to buy from us after you already took so much from us. But, of course, you didn't get all that money because it got handed out. Right? Right. Okay. Okay, here's somebody. Oh, somebody marked 51, blah, blah, blah. But anyway, 6:42 in the morning on a Monday morning, sun coming up, traffic picking up. Be careful. There's some road closures today in different areas, and they're doing their best to get all these things fixed. But I mean, geez, in some cases, I don't understand the logic. But be careful out there. And watch out for these people. Also, I think people need to go online to the Chip Matthews Show on Facebook, and let's have an officer of the week. I need to have an officer of the week, and I need a sponsor to give me something to give that officer of the week at the end of the week. But we need to have an officer, or we'll make it Guns and Hoses Award every week. That way, it'll be a fireman or a first responder or a policeman each and every week. And let's work this out, because this would be a cool thing, good award to put out every Friday. Clay has his FAFO, so I'll just have my let's support the people that keep us safe out there, and they're doing the best they can. And the problem is their leadership, their people in charge of them, because if we don't get stronger, I mean, think about it one more time, y'all. A person was pulled over on McDowell Road in a drive-by. They saw the cops, so they just drove by and started shooting. That's dangerous, people. Not only is it dangerous, it's wrong. And that's got to stop. That's got to stop. We got to get control. And so my policy when I become mayor of Canton is going to be zero tolerance. And the zero tolerance policy that I look to do is I'm going to arrest the parents and the kids. So at 2 a.m. when the 14-year-olds are out running around, I'm arresting both of you. And I will be arresting your kids, anybody under the age of 18, because if they're above the age of 18, we can try them as adults and be stronger at it. We got to make sure the court system has good judges in it that will set decent bonds. I mean, in Madison County, when you kill somebody, bonds usually $500,000 to $1 million or no bond. In Jackson, I've seen bonds as low as $5,000 to get out and be right back on the street and kill again this week. We got to get that all stored up. But my thing would be the parents and the kid would be arrested for being out at 2 o'clock in the morning. 14-year-olds shouldn't be out at 2 o'clock in the morning stealing cars, period. But if your parent, after this has happened once, if the parent is calling into our hotline or the police station and telling us that their kid is out, we won't arrest the parents because they will be actively out there trying to help us. And that's that. You've got to take responsible for your kids. You got to take responsible for your city. You got to take responsible for the block you're in. And it's just like when a tornado comes through, I'll remind you one more time, the first place to clean up when you're looking at all the death and destruction is right at your feet. You got to start right there and start cleaning up your lot. and then going and helping your neighbors. You've got to take care of yourself first, people. You have to make sure that you have the support around you and that you are doing your dead level best to be the best for you. So you look in the mirror and you say, that guy is going to do better today, or that woman is going to do better today. And that is where you have to come from. You have to start your day and your politics from where you're at. My politics, you need to look at it and say, I don't think we should be murdering people. If your values are all in order and you're thinking right, okay, so what am I going to do to fix my world? And then I'm going to spread out and fix other people's world. That's all we can do. And it's election time, and this is the only time that lawmakers who don't do anything, since we don't have a ballot initiative and we don't have a recall vote in Mississippi, this is the only time that you can get rid of somebody that really, really, really sucks. Let's go to the phone and see what's going on. Good morning, YB. Hello.
Yes, I want to talk to somebody about something, about a situation that I'm having to deal with. My oldest daughter is 8 years old and she's special needs.
Okay.
She was sexually assaulted on the school bus in Madison County, and there's nothing in place to protect my daughter from ever happening again. She was assaulted by another student that was 10 years old for 28 and a half minutes. And the bus monitor on the bus sat there on her butt and didn't do her job to watch the school bus or anything.
What is the
and the bus driver didn't even see anything either.
What has the district attorney said?
They told me that the child was too young to be prosecuted, that I could not go after the parents or anything.
Well, then
the only thing I can do is have a lawsuit against Madison County Schools and Durham Bus Services, and that's as much as I could do.
And that's something they just want to do some monetary things. They're not charging anybody with anything criminal.
Right. No criminal charges can be pressed.
And
after the incident happened, and we watched the video, my attorney asked me, has anybody reached out to you about wanting to interview your daughter or anything like that about the assault? I said, no. She said, well, you need to reach out to CPS to find out if anybody even made a report. And also reach out to the police department. So I reached out to CPS, according to CPS, to know that they did not call CPS to report the incident.
And let me ask you, CPS is Canton Public Schools?
No, CPS is Child Protective Services.
Okay, gotcha. Okay.
Child Protective Services was not notified about the assault. And I called Ridgeland PD to see what was going on. And the detective finally called me back after 2 weeks and informed me that they dropped the charges against the little girl because of her age. I said, well, can I go after the parents? They says, no, at this point in time, Madison County is handling it. And as far as he's concerned, that they were doing a good job.
Okay, well, he
was happy with what they did.
I would call the mayor of Ridgeland, if it happened in Ridgeland, and I would tell Gene McGee, would you help me out and get this going in the right direction? And then I would call Lynn Fitch's office and turn in a report, because this is what they allegedly are all working for. And I mean, if you had you had a bus monitor, is that how the system works? Who is not doing their job?
Special needs, yep.
Yeah. Well, if you're bus monitor and you're not doing your job, that person needs to be prosecuted, because that person, you don't know what they did. Did they take a video? What were they doing? Were they putting it up on their Facebook Live page? Why aren't they doing their job? I mean, we got to hold people accountable, and it's zero tolerance.
I know, and that's what I've been trying to do, and I'm trying to get my daughter's story out. But I had WLBT said that they'd do a story on it, and then nobody returned my phone calls. And now when I call them, nobody answers my number because they're screening now. I had somebody from 16 said that they'd do a story. Well, now that person's no longer accepting my phone calls because, again, they're screening my phone calls. So if I call, they know and they won't answer. And I can't get nobody else to.
I will tell you who I would call. I would call the big boss in the state. If you can't get anything local, just call the governor's office. I promise you that every time I've called the governor's office, somebody returned my call and spoke to me about the problems, and he'll make a bigger issue out of it. And that's what you got to do. I mean, because it's wrong.
Thank you for the info.
Okay.
I've been trying to find somebody to talk to about this to see what I should do.
Hey, and I can tell you right now, law enforcement officials are listening to this show right now, and those people in Madison County that know what's going on, they will probably step up and start looking around. But I would call I'd call the mayor first, and then I'd call Lynn Fitch, and I would call I'd call Bubba Bramlett's office. Bubba Bramlett is the DA. And he doesn't do his job half the time, but something like this, he may show up and work. Just get it reported. And to those people, talk to bosses if it's not getting done. Thank you for calling.
All right.
Okay.
I
Bye-bye.
appreciate it, man.
Thank you. Look at that. Yeah. People not doing their job. Your kid gets assaulted sexually on the bus, and you got to get the crime reported high enough. If people are kicking it around and trying to cover for somebody, I mean, I know bus monitors, you want to do the right thing, but if you're not doing your job, and that's the problem everywhere, if you're not doing your job, you need to be held accountable so that you'll get your job done in the future. And that's why we got to get out and vote, to where we have people in place hiring people who will do their job. You know, I don't know the situation. I don't know the people that he was just speaking of, but, you know, got to wake up. Wake up. We'll be back after this on the Chip Matthews Show on WYAB. On WYAB.
Keep it tuned here to 103.9 WYAB.
Your pie and Gluckstadt is adding to the family. No, not like that. It's the new Pizza Shop sandwiches, like the Italian featuring pepperoni, ham, bacon, black olives, feta, mozzarella, red onion, and that secret ingredient,
oregano. You mix in something called oregano. Oh, oregano.
Some tasty chicken creations, too, like the chicken bacon ranch served with house-made jalapeno ranch. And as always, express your inner pizza, too. Your Pie Gluckstadt, across from Germantown High School.
Men, if you answer yes to any of these questions, you could be suffering from low testosterone. Do you have low sex drive? ED, always tired, depressed, loss of muscle mass, obese, loss of focus and drive? You, my friends, need to get your numbers checked. Check out Men's Health of Mississippi, located in Madison, Mississippi, and online at menshealthms.com. Guys, get your numbers checked today. Trust me, she'll thank you for it. I promise. menshealthms.com. Men's Health of Mississippi.
Hi, Kim Wade here. Are you craving a home-cooked meal without the hassle? Come over to McBee's Bar and Grill in Ridgeland for the Blue Plate Lunch Specials. Served up every weekday, at McBee's it's a different entree every day. Chicken spaghetti on Mondays, beef tip Tuesday, pork chop Wednesday, spaghetti Thursday, and catfish Fridays. And McBee's Blue Plate Lunch comes with 2 classic Southern sides and cornbread or roll. McBee's specials are served every weekday from 11 to 2. McBee's, buzzing the res since 1982.
Bank Plus makes it easier to bank. With extended drive-through hours plus 24/7 online and mobile banking, we're here when you need us. Lost your debit card? Get a new one instantly at any Bank Plus location. No waiting for the mail. And interactive teller machines offer drive-up personal service 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Friday and 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Saturdays. Your bank, your plus. Learn more at bankplus.net. Member FDIC.
B-Dubs cocktails, pretzel knots, and mozzarella sticks. It's all on me today.
Oh, so you're happy hour rich. When the happy hour menu is only $3 to $6 from 3 to 6 p.m.
$3 to $6, that's crazy.
You know we're at happy hour right now from 3 to 6 p.m.
It's happy hour crazy.
We were here yesterday too.
Crazy.
Quit playing. I'm gonna let you pay though. Food, beer, and cocktails for $3 to $6 from 3 to 6 p.m. Buffalo Wild Wings for the greatest of all times. Monday through Friday only. Beer deals available all day at participating locations. Taxes and fees apply. Dine in only. Drink responsibly. Offers vary by location. Void where prohibited.
Dr. Bobby C. Pankey and Associates proudly welcome optometrists Mary Lou Puglisi and Dylan Pankey to their team of eye care professionals. Both shared Optical 2000's commitment to offering you and your family the highest quality eye care, blending state-of-the-art technology with personalized service. After your eye exam, step next door to the Optical Shop, which features select frames, Gucci, Tom Ford, Calvin Klein, Lacoste, Maui Jim, Scott Harris, Michael Ryan, and others. Optical 2000 in Clinton and Richland.
Doctor, the AC doctor, what's no diagnosis? My whole house was hot as a fever. Now my house frozen, cause my air condition's so. Doctor, my AC's broken. Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
The AC Doctors is your one-stop provider for air conditioning and heating installation, service, and repair. Contact us for money-saving repairs and lower energy bills.
Doctor, the AC doctor, heal my house, bless my soul.
Google the AC Doctors and get some relief today. TheACDR.com.
Welcome back to the Chip Matthews Show, and here is your host, Chip Matthews.
And we're back for the final segment here on the Chip Matthews Show here on WYAB. Reminding everybody, go to church this Sunday. It's Easter Sunday. It's Holy Week, I guess you could say, and you should be thinking about it. The other thing you must do to help improve your life is you must go vote. If you're going to vote absentee, you got till Saturday at noon all week, and then next Tuesday. That is your version of early voting, is absentee voting. So go show up and vote, and let's make sure that in this runoff, we get everything right. Now, remember, you're going to, in the next few weeks, you're going to have, you got the runoff next Tuesday. Then 4 weeks later, you have the general. And then after the general, there will be another runoff, more than likely, unless we get a massive number of people to get out and vote properly. And properly means electing somebody other than Chokeway or any of the establishment that has been ruining your life wherever you live. But anyway, it's been a great day. Good morning. I'll be here every morning. So make sure you tune in, 6 a.m. Clay Edwards is coming up at 7 o'clock. And remember, I'm probably going to sit in with him for a little bit. And then at 9 o'clock, I am back for my show from 9 to 10 that I do with Taylor Turcotte. And then Jameson Haygood, The Good Fight. And then Sean and Lindsay at noon. And then coming up at 4 o'clock, Radio Strongman and future mayor of Jackson, Kim Wade. Don't you dare miss it. Okay. But I'm going to be the future mayor of Canton, and I need everybody in Canton to start thinking about that. Plus, we need to make sure that there is no chance that this Camille Walker makes it to the ballot, final ballot. And you need to get out and vote for Tim Taylor this week, because I'm just gonna endorse him. You're WYAB. See y'all in a bit.